community a disservice. And I agree, it does. It's no better, than blacks running around talking about, pimping and banging the hose and putting a cap in somebody's head or something. Same thing. That's a very small percentage, but everybody gets this assumption that this is what the overwhelming majority of the culture is like, and that's not true. You always get a vocal minority that ruin it for the silent majority. Now, the reason why Reed and Walkup did this is they said they were searching for states and areas that they could get to that they could sort of circumvent the law because of how vaguely the law is written. Now, evidently in the Washington they used a religious person or activist person, whatever, in Washington D.C. via Skype to marry them. Now, I'm still trying to figure out, they were still in Texas. No matter where the officiating authority was, I still think that they were getting married in Texas, which makes it illegal. Null and void. But be that as it may. Basically, they were looking around trying to find a jurisdiction that had a vaguely written homosexual gay marriage law. And evidently, Washington, D.C. fit the bill. I guess you don't have to actually be in Washington, D.C. in order to get married. But in Texas, I'm guessing you got to be there in order to get it's really kind of weird. I'd be interested to see if that actually goes to court, if they try to pursue that kind of thing. But the only reason they were doing this is because they were mad at Proposition 8 being passed in California. Well, guess what? It was overturned by one of your gay judges. So what are you upset about? Go to California. This is why people are upset with gays. A certain small percentage. This is why. It really is. That's no more difficult or complicated than that. Really isn't. And Vorpalbite in the chat room says gays already have the exact same rights as straight people. I agree. Gay people can get married, just like a straight person. They just have to marry a person of the opposite sex, and it's no different for a straight person. A straight person has to marry a human of the opposite sex. They can't marry their dog of the opposite sex. They can't marry their horse or their cow or their sheep or their cat of the opposite sex. They have to marry a human of the opposite sex. So everybody's being treated equally. Pretty simple. But also understand marriage really is a religious ceremony, spiritual ceremony. And quite frankly, it is a traditional religious spiritual ceremony that has always been defined as between a man and a woman. Now, in some cases, it's between a man and multiple women, but it's still between a man and a woman. And nowhere in history that I have ever found, not even in ancient Greece, where homosexuality was considered to be more acceptable, did they even have same-sex marriage? It hasn't happened. So, not in the ways of a formal ceremony like and recognizable like we understand it and recognize it. It is a religious ceremony that has been co-opted for tax reasons and tax purposes by governments. And besides, you know what? If they unless we get the continuation of the Bush tax cuts, gays are better off not being married because the marriage penalty comes back. All right, so what are they complaining about? Really? Well, I'm not going to go there, Vorpalbite. We'll pass that one by. But duly noted. If you're not in the Blog Talk Radio chat room, then you're not going to know what this listener in the chat room is referring to, and I'm not gonna go there. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Not this juncture. Hold on to your giblets, folks. Something. Well, not necessarily new, but expensive is coming to your dinner plate. Yes, it is. And you're not going to, well, maybe you will believe it. But I don't know. We'll see in just a moment. Three 427-426-3404. Rush Limbaugh says that there's an imposter serving in the White House. If you heard Rush the other day, yesterday actually, he called Obama an imposter, questioning President Obama's constitutional ability or eligibility to serve as the commander-in-chief and occupy the White House. And I've always said that there is something awfully strange and amiss about what's going on surrounding Barack Obama's birth certificate. And Obama, whether he does it on purpose or by accident, he fuels the controversy by making statements like when he went down to Louisiana, Selma's my home. When people ask me about Selma, if I've ever been to Selma before, I tell them I'm coming home. I'm the product, I'm the fruit of your labors down here in Selma. I was conceived down here in Selma during that time period. Now, by saying that, he's actually making himself approximately 4 years younger than he states his birth certificate says. Obama would have been approximately 4 years old by the time what he's referring to, the marches and everything in Selma, happened. So whether he does it inadvertently and by accident, or whether he's actually giving us hints into his true nature, is up to anybody's guess. Problem is that the president himself is fueling this stuff, and he could easily put everybody's questions, to rest. Now the problem is that there are many people who are saying, well, the president was born before. What was he born? 1961. There are some people that are saying he was born in 59, putting him making damn sure that he was ineligible. That he was born maybe even a year or two before that. He was born like a year. There are some people who are claiming that he was born about a year before Hawaiian statehood, which would put the president at about, 50, 51 now. And there are some people that are saying that, like Barack, who's saying he was born in 64 or 65. At which case, if that is the case, then where was his mother? And where is his father at that time period? And look, the man could easily clear it up. But he's hiding something. And I believe personally that he was born in Hawaii. I do. I have no reason not to believe it. But there's something else about this whole birth school situation that he's trying to hide. Maybe it is, maybe it has something to do with his Muslim upbringing. While he was in Indonesia. I don't know. But there's something that the man is hiding. And pretty much like Lady Bird Johnson's, memoirs, we'll never really know the truth. Not at least, until the man is dies of old age at the age of 90 or something. So we'll never really know the truth. But, as promised, there is something new. Well, it's not new under the sun, but it's probably something new to you. Now, there are some people who are going to spend an awful lot of money for tomorrow's Thanksgiving Day dinner. And this is a news story out of the New York Daily News. It seems like there are some New Yorkers who aren't feeling the real pinch of today's recession. Some designer turkeys are flying off store shelves, even at prices as high as $14 a pound. For a 12-pound turkey, that's about $168 for one freaking bird. Now, there's a Manhattan architect, Stephen Alish. He dished out more than $200 last Sunday for a pair of Good Shepherd Poultry Ranch Heritage Free-Range turkeys, priced at $11 a pound, and dubbed the Mercedes-Benz of birds by Dean and DeLuca staff. He says that they hang out in open fields. He says in defense of his three-figure fowl purchase. He said, the architect said it's all about what it's been like for them for their 1 or 2 years of life. But even Alish has his limits. He passed over the D'Artagnan wild turkey, selling for $14 a pound. He said it looked like a runway model version of the holiday staple, pale, thin, and overpriced. Now, D'Artagnan's website boasts that the turkeys are farm-raised from the original wild breed of bird. So if you have, here's a guy, he's willing to spend $11 a pound for a turkey, but you just at that particular point you add $3 more. That's too much. He's already spent over $200 for two birds, but I guess spending over $250 for two birds. For him, that's his limit. $200, $11 a pound is his limit. And it's stuff like this that you've got to wonder. You're asking, is there really a recession? Hey, I wonder if this guy's a liberal. Because couldn't he have bought maybe 10 turkeys for $11 a pound, considering the price of turkeys around this time of year? And you could still have the two for his own dinner, and he could have given the other 8 away to food stores and everything. I bet you this guy's a liberal. I wouldn't pay. I have a conniption paying $11 a pound for a good Angus beef, certified Angus beef steak. I'm not going to pay $11 a pound or more for a stupid turkey. 11, and there are some. The story continues that there's a woman from Staten Island. She says she's afraid of turkeys. Now she's 82, so we'll give her that. But she lives in fear of wild turkeys roaming her neighborhood, and said that she'll go to ShopRite for her bird. Anything else would be bird brain. She says. Who would eat a wild turkey anyway? They're ugly. No offense, Grandma, 82 years old Grandma, but you're not eating the bird because it looks pretty. You're eating the bird because it tastes good. And you'll never see what the bird looks like anyway, because it'll be, beheaded and defooted and all that, defrocked, defeathered and all that kind of stuff. Just go to the store and buy